Hi everyone, this is Intuitive Edge. Welcome to my channel. Thanks for tuning in. This is where we take an intuitive look at what's going on in our world. So there's been a lot of stuff going on in our world. A lot of crazy things happening. I want to get into some of it to see if there's anything that we can glean intuitively as to what is happening. Now, there's been some strange reports coming out. People have been reporting seeing tanks being moved to places like California and Texas. Other reports coming out that I've heard is that NORAD and NORTHCOM have been locked down to Cheyenne Mountain in Colorado. Now, this is an ultra secure bunker in a mountain in Colorado that the military has reserved for continuity of government. So generally, if those are being activated and locked down, it usually would be at a time of war. So what is going on? President Trump, in an address, said that the next couple of weeks would be difficult and for us Americans to pull together in this difficult time. Is this really about the coronavirus, or is something else going on? I decided to leave this spread that I'm going to do kind of open-ended and just ask the question, what is going on? And just to get the impressions, I'm going to do this reading a little less like looking at each card, but just getting an overview and to see what impressions come up, what senses I get. All right, so I've laid out a 10-card spread. Now, the first thing that comes up that I notice is I've got the star crossed by the devil. Out of the first 5 cards out, there are 4 major arcana. Generally, this tells me that this is an important issue or there's something more to look at here. So when I ask what is really going on, what's interesting with that star reversed, crossed by the devil, we've got Temperance reversed on top and the moon fading into the background. The picture of the cards that are, as they emerge, surround this devil card in the middle. To me, this feels as though there is an enemy that is being surrounded. Okay. And the forward card, again, I'll show this to you in a moment. The forward card is the 6 of Wands reversed, but it's facing back to the devil card. And this is like feeling a bit of triumph over an enemy of sorts. And the feeling I get is triumph. Now, the triumph hasn't happened yet, but it's like in process or happening soon. There's a struggle card right behind this triumphant card. So the struggle is still ongoing, but the feeling is having the enemy surrounded. Okay. There's also a wish card underneath, your wish is being granted. And the Temperance card feels as though there's a story with that one. I'm trying to pick up on what it is. But the imagery I get is some type of communications or some type of concoction, not sure which, but it is pointing to the devil card also, like subduing an enemy. So I wrote down some things that I got from this. Deception card also I need to mention. Deception card with the moon reversed, is fading into the background. So something is being uncovered and being brought out of the veil, being exposed, and that is actually a good thing because the deceptive part is what's leaving. So I also get that the words that came to me with this is that struggle would soon be over. I also got with the Temperance card, the thought came to me of rescue. And something about an end being near. Now on the outcome, we've got that Judgment card on top. That is basically meeting your end or coming to the end of something and looking back over what's been accomplished and hoping by that time that you've accomplished what you set out to do. It's kind of a reflection card, but an ending. So from this, there's a struggle, there is surrounding the enemy and trying to triumph over this perceived enemy. Wishes being granted, the things being exposed, coming out of the shadows, and being subdued from several fronts, not just like one battle, but being surrounded. That's the impression I get. So this leads me to have a lot more questions, so I'm going to write down some questions and we're going to look at this a little bit further. I'll be right back. So the biggest question now in my mind is this a foreign enemy? Is the United States at war with China or some other nation that is there some threat that we don't know about yet? Or is this a domestic operation? Now we know that the ships, I guess there's 2 ships, not just the Mercy, there's also the Comfort. I got them mixed up in my last video. Apparently one went to New York, one went to LA. So anyway, but is this a domestic operation that's going down with the U.S. military? So that was my biggest question. Now I took out my ocean deck and I just laid those out as I paused the video a minute ago. And I asked, is this a domestic or a foreign op? Now, for the foreign, I get an abundance card, I've got the moon, the illusion, and I've got the chariot. Okay, so there's some movement with that. And I'm going off of impressions and feelings of what I'm feeling with this. The other side that came up with, is this a domestic op, had a lot of energy, more so than the other side. So let me show you what I've got with that. Now we've got the healing card. If you think of this healing as this Comfort and Mercy ships that are docking on each coast, this is their mission, is healing, bringing healing. Now, my question was, is the U.S. military involved in rescuing children and arresting those responsible? And other information on this. And I was guided to pull 3 cards. I was initially going to do 2 for each, and I was told to draw 3. The second card, after the healing card for this domestic op, is the Wheel of Fortune. Now, this card is about things happening, being set in motion that you can't stop. It's like destiny is going to run its course no matter what. Things are destined and fated to happen. Okay. Now, the bottom card with this, the third card, is the Justice card. And that was my other question, is there going to be arrests of those responsible? So interestingly, we've got the healing operation, we've got things are set in motion that are part of a karmic wheel of destiny that are destined to happen, and I've got the Justice. So if I was to wager a bet or do a wild guess, it seems to me that the domestic operation is what's going down. And whether or not that involves NORAD and Northcom, I'm not sure why that's all tied in. Now, on the other side, asking if this was a foreign operation, of course, I had the abundance card. Queen of the Ocean, abundance. This is a card of nurture and care. And then I've got the illusion card. Things behind the veil, hidden. We don't see really what's going on. And then I've got the Chariot, so the movement card. So there could be movement in that area as well, maybe with other nations. I don't sense like an urgent fight or an urgency with it like I sense with this other side, with the healing, the destiny, and then bringing to justice. So that's what I've got for this. It seems like it is related to the domestic operation. So that last begging question is, why is NORAD involved? Why Northcom? Why the continuity of government? Well, when I ask myself that question, it kind of pops in my head that perhaps the continuity of government, maybe this domestic operation involves people in government. And maybe there has to be continuity because things might get a little crazy. Maybe there's some people in government that are involved, and this is a military op that is designed to keep the continuity going while there's maybe a restructure. Boy, that's heavy to think about. But I'm wondering if that is perhaps why there's the hunkering down at the bunker in Colorado. And again, these are just what I've heard. I'm going off of what I've heard, try and piece this together and make sense of it. But the cards are saying that there's that healing that we know, the ships we know, that's out in the news. We know that. We can see them. And this destiny coming through, justice coming through, there's something more coming through with those. So the idea of that continuity is an idea that I've thrown out there. So that's just a guess. So we'll see if that's part of this. But it does seem like there's energy on the domestic side. So we'll see what takes place. And perhaps another thought I just had, maybe I should say this as well, is that if there is, say it is something big like, people in government involved, and there has to be, the military kind of keeping the peace until things settle, that would leave us kind of vulnerable, wouldn't you think? If other nations like China or somebody wanted to attack, that, you kind of attack when you're down kind of thing. So maybe Northcom, NORAD are there to protect us as well from external threats, which would explain that Chariot being ready to move. But okay, all right, I'm getting in the weeds here a little bit, but I just wanted to bring this up because I thought it was interesting in light of what we're seeing going on and in light of what we're hearing, and a lot of what we're seeing but not hearing and not knowing what's going on with the movement of the tanks and some paramilitary stuff going on around us. So, okay. Anyway, I hope everybody's doing well, hunkered down in your homes. Stay well, stay safe, and we'll talk to you next time. This has been Intuitive Edge. Bye for now.